Well, statistics show every year more than 5 million people are diagnosed with skin cancer. It is the most common cancer, but experts say it's also the most preventable. Here to share the facts with us this morning is Jessica Poff with the American Cancer Society. And Jessica, good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
It's kind of that yearly reminder that we have coming up in May when summer is right around the corner.
It is. It's something that I try to think of all year long just because the sun never stops shining, right? So making sure that we take care of our skin is really important. Sun safety awareness and teaching it to our kids so they can start taking better care of their skin is a great thing to do too.
And I knew that it was, very common and the numbers, but 5 million people every year, that's a lot.
It is. So, we talk about 1.6 million people being diagnosed with cancer every year, but that does not include the 5.6 million skin cancers that are diagnosed. So, usually about 5.6 million of basal and squamous skin cancers are diagnosed with 3.3 million people. So usually you have more than one. I'm one of those statistics. Every few months I have to go, I have a new place removed, and it's a basal or squamous skin cancer. Melanomas are less common. It's about 106,000 people per year that are diagnosed, more commonly in men than women, but it is a pretty even statistic. And then others such as Merkel cells, they're pretty dangerous. So usually basal and squamous are usually removal and usually not much treatment, just making sure you're doing your skin checks. Melanomas and Merkel cell tend to be a little bit more invasive and sometimes can be lifelong treatment.
And you mentioned you're one of those statistics, and I know that's one of those things that's so important when it comes to checking your skin and watching for these signs.
It is, and that's why it's important to talk to your doctor. So we talk about screenings all the time. It's important to get your mammograms and your pap smears and your lung screenings, but sometimes we don't talk about skin checks as often. So paying attention to your skin, making sure if you see a mole that's maybe changing. My own personal experience, I had the mole for as long as I could remember, and I remember my doctor just being like, hey, that doesn't quite look right. Let's go ahead and take it off. So she did. She popped it out. And sure enough, it was skin cancer, and that was my very first one. It's something that I see about every year, and so it is important to follow up with those appointments. We have amazing dermatologists in our area that you can see many of them, but also your primary care physician can watch that too.
And Jessica, you mentioned you had this mole for a long time. So was it always there and needed to be removed, or is it something that can happen that you've got this spot and then it starts changing?
I think I had it. I mean, I don't remember not having it, but I'm one of those people, I'm very fair-skinned. I have blue eyes, I have lighter hair, so I tend to fit those statistics a little bit better than some other people. Skin cancer does tend to affect those of paler skin, Caucasians, more than any other minorities. So we do have to pay attention to that. I also wasn't the best to my skin when I was younger. I did the tanning beds, I laid out, we didn't have the sunblock. I mean, so I wasn't the best, so I probably didn't help.
Like the message wasn't there.
It wasn't as much.
Yes, I would totally agree. The tanning beds were huge, and we didn't know, and we always wanted that tan. We never did sunscreen.
We didn't, and so that's something that definitely I've changed as I've gotten older. We try to remind people to slip on some clothing, some lightweight clothing to cover your skin, to make sure you're reapplying sunscreen often, and to make sure you're staying hydrated and to stay in the shade, and to wear sunglasses. Melanoma can also start inside your body, not just on the outside.
Wow.
So it's important to protect your eyes as well.
And see, our next generation, much better, because as moms, man, we lather it on, don't we?
I get made fun of, and it's okay.
That's right. All right, for more information, cancer.org. Do not forget your sunscreen and pay attention to your skin. Some great information.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jessica. We're going to take a break. We're back with more right after this.